And our top focus on this broadcast. While the government of India, the Modi Sarkar, hard sells the Namami Ganga project, it has actually created a separate ministry for this. A senior official of Uttar Pradesh has been caught on camera doing the unthinkable. The ADM, O.P. Srivastava, was caught on camera urinating at the holy Triveni Sangam, which is sacred to millions of devotees. Ironically, the unholy act of relieving himself at the holy Sangam by the ADM took place while the senior official was discussing the arrangement for the annual Triveni festival. Now, the camera shows the ADM walking up to the bank of Yamuna river and relieving himself. Despite a massive outrage after the video came to light, the state government has so far not taken any action against the top official, who is clearly setting a very bad precedent. The Sangam is the assembly of the Ganga, Yamuna and the mythical river Saraswati and holds the pride of place in the Hindu culture. We're joined here, in fact, even as we wait for the viewers to speak out. Mr. Tom Varakan of the Congress is on the phone line with us. Mr. Varakan, does this come as a shocker to you, or do you think that this is ingrained in terms of urinating in public spaces as far as Indians go?
Well, it was shocking visuals when it came in, and that too an ADM who is involved in the process of cleansing the Ganges. And it's very shocking indeed that such visual, and then he has his, on the t-shirt he's wearing and seeing the visual of the logo. I mean, sometimes these are people who are not bothered in what positions they hold and where they're involved. And there are entire camera teams involved and who are there. And this is a challenge to them too. That here is this ADM walking up there and easing. And it's shocking indeed, shocking.
Would you say that this is more shocking perhaps than seeing, common citizens pee in public spaces, because this is also about a spot which is considered so holy by millions of devotees, and this is a government official as well?
Yes, the holy river and the location, these are all, I mean, I don't know whether this man is obvious or is oblivious of the sanctity of that region and that place where he's standing. And he is responsible for the cleaning up operation. He's talking to the other people there. There are cameras, there are visuals. A common man, I'm disgusted with even the common man doing all that in public. But then the Swachaliyas are not available. There are issues, he may be diabetic. All that is human angle there. But be what it may, this is just not acceptable.
Okay, Mr. Varakan, I would request you to stay with us. I'm just joined by Jagannath, who is a viewer from Mumbai. Mr. Jagannath, quickly your views. What is your take on this?
It's really sad to see a person who's in charge. I mean, he's supposed to be a role model for Swachh Bharat, and he's a government official. And honestly speaking, today most of our bureaucrats are never role models for anything. It's really sad. I mean, he should be leading the team and saying it should not be done. He himself indulges in the same. So what example is he setting to the other common man? The common man is going to question tomorrow, if he can do it, why shouldn't I be permitted to do it?
Okay, so this sort of gives a license to the others also, that when a Sarkari Babu can do it, why not us? Isha Rao is there from Mumbai. Usha Rao, what would you say, ma'am, to the visuals that you see? You think that there should be some action against this ADM?
Absolutely. Good evening, I'm Usha Rao from Bangalore. By urinating in the holy Sangam, the government official has made a mockery of the ambitious Clean Ganga project, for which crores are being spent by the government. I think civic sense is almost non-existent in our country, Before we embark on a project like Clean Ganga, what we need to do is clean our minds and make a resolve that each one of us will contribute to this noble project by not polluting and sullying this river. I think we as a nation do not attach any importance to maintaining cleanliness in public places, though ironically we are very particular about keeping our homes spick and span,
Yes.
Once we step out of the house, we think it is our birthright to litter the street, to pee on the roadside, spit wherever we feel like. I think the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan will remain a distant and unattainable dream unless each and every citizen makes a firm resolve to keep his or her surroundings clean, maintain cleanliness in public places like parks, beaches, railway stations and other tourist spots.
Okay, fair. Absolutely, your points well taken. Usha Rao there, many thanks for joining us. Before I go over to my next viewer, Sandeep, Mr. Tom Badakan, if I could come back to you, do you think that there needs to be a stricter action in this case? Because as one of our viewers said, this is about a role model as well. This is about a government official who needs to send an example to the others.
I think so. And I would agree with the lady from Bangalore. She says she's very logical in what she says, that we need to clean our minds first. I mean, we need to have that mindset. This has to be inculcated. This cannot be done in some, it's not like an injection or a switch on or a switch off. It's years of this kind of training that needs to be done from the school, the primary stages, that this thought process, this process of cleanliness must be inducted from there. And that is how we can, progress in this kind of exercises. It is not about the crores that are spent. They've been spent by this government, earlier government.
Right.
But this is shocking indeed. And I think a message must go down to him that this is not acceptable. At least he must be taken off the responsibility given to him.
Absolutely.
Right
An
now.
example must be made of him. Mr. Varakan, do stay with us. In fact, I'm also joined by Sandeep from Mysore, another viewer. Sandeep, would you say that this also points maybe to the larger malaise that there are no public conveniences in India, that there are not sufficient loos? Is that also another problem that we need to think about?
Very true. I feel we are being very critical to Srivastava. There are lakhs of Srivastava in India. All of us know that. There is one case caught on camera, so we seem to be concentrating too much. Of course, not seeing what he has done. Let's not forget, the PM also is en route to construct toilets. We all saw this in one of the Independence Day speeches some time back. So that's a step in the right direction. Of course, this is not defending what Srivastava has done, considering the fact that this has some religious sentiments to people of India. The least he could have done was, being an official, he could have found his way through some toilet close by. But
Right.
yes, as you say, there has to be some facilities, so to say. Yes, what Srivastava has done is pretty wrong, but all I would say is let's be too critical about it.
Okay, and Colonel Ravindra is also there from Pune. Sir, quickly, what do you have to say on this?
Ma'am, first and foremost, of course, this gentleman Srivastava is at fault, but it shows. Now, you see, there is an advertisement given by the government in which Anupam Kher has given the voice. There also is blaming, showing all those 4 gentlemen, 2-3 ladies, their team, the entire city. But what's the disposal arrangement? Even Mr. Srivastava, he may be a man with a disease. I assume he has got, what is a enlarged prostate gland. He wanted to urinate himself, but is there any toilet made nearby? You go anywhere. I had been to Kovalam. Thousands of rupees are earned by government on tourism. There is no toilet for man.
Okay, sir, we take your points, well taken. Many thanks, Colonel Ravindra from Pune. Let me get in a word from Mr. Jitendra Khurana, who's also an activist. Mr. Khurana, if you've heard our viewers, as somebody said, that there are lakhs of Srivastavs. This is one man caught on camera, but because he's a government official, isn't there added responsibility on this man to have tried to at least set an example?
Well, I have come to know from your correspondent itself that there is some situation, the person named O.P. Srivastava, he has done some urination at the Sangam area.
Yes.
And it is more than embarrassing for me. First of all, I was shocked and I was speechless. I would say that it is just like urinating on our own mother. Ganga is the mother. It's not a water, it's like an Amrit. The Sangam is the place where the drops of the Amrit were poured when the Devasura Sangrama happened. So the Sangam is a holy place for the whole of the 100 crore Hindus. I cannot imagine how he did it. He's a highly established person, highly established.
Okay.
I assume that he's a highly intellectual person, but it doesn't seem like it seems like we have a wrong person at the right designation. So I expect that Akhilesh government and the national government, NDA government also must take some legal action against the person and he must be prosecuted. He has hurt the sentiments of Hindu society in whole.
Okay, so you think that this calls for strict action. Many thanks, Mr. Jitendra Khurana. Before I go back to Sriram, who is our viewer from Chennai, if Mr. Tom Vadakan, if I could ask you, this issue of public conveniences not being there, is that a good enough reason for an ADM to have used the Sangam point for urinating?
I don't think so. He has his vehicle parked out there. There are many officials. He could just take off there. There are many public convenience. And for an ADM to use a public toilet, I'm sure if he's the additional district magistrate of that place, he would have had structures nearby. But this is just carelessness. He's just walked over there and then to top it all, the logo of the campaign is right on his T-shirt. Now, I mean, there may be an element of that he's sick or be what it may, but I think he should have been extremely careful on a sensitive issue like this. He should have avoided it. And I think he will take square responsibility for what his actions are.
Okay, stay with us, Mr. Barakan. We have in fact two of our callers waiting to give their views. Ajinkya from Aurangabad, please go ahead.
मुझे यही कहना है कि ये जो है इनकी कुछ यूरिनल की जो डिसीज वगैरह रहता है उसका कोई प्रॉब्लम होगा, और जो दूसरा है और अपने इंडिया में जो कहीं यूरिन के लिए कुछ जगह ही नहीं है, वो फिर लेडीज के लिए हो या जेंट्स के लिए हो, हमें जो है उसके लिए अरेंजमेंट तो करनी पड़ेगी। ये तो हर रोज का है, बस इतना ही कहना।
ओके, बहुत शुक्रिया आपने हमसे बात की। अजिंक्य फ्रॉम औरंगाबाद। रमेश फ्रॉम मुंबई is also on the phone line with us. Please tell us, Mr. Ramesh, do you think that this calls for strict action, that the ADM at least must issue an apology?
Oh, it's very unfortunate that a person of the rank of ADM who should impress upon other people to follow the law and rules is himself violating. And the sentiments of all the Hindus around India are very badly affected by this act of his. I think such a person should be removed from his responsibilities immediately and should be penalized for what he has done. It is not a good impression even on the children, in the school-going children, or the civilized society in general, that such people are allowed to urinate, that too in Ganges, which is revered by all of us like mother.
Okay.
And this ADM is doing like that is very shameful. He should be immediately removed. Such people, they should not be tolerated at all.
Okay, this is about setting an example here. Akshay from Delhi also joins us. Akshay, while of course the place where this man is urinating and the fact that he is a government official makes it much more offensive, but is it a larger reflection on Indians too? They think that it's all right to go out there in public space and urinate and litter.
Yes, it is, but I have a larger point in terms of the government apathy, because if they are the organizers of such a large event, is it not the government's or the organizers' responsibility to ensure there are adequate toilets around? You cannot just say that, he did it because he was not feeling well or he didn't find a toilet around. They are organizers. They are supposed to ensure that such facilities are there at
This is an event that is yet to happen, so they are organizing for it.
Yeah, so even though when they are organizing, at that time also you need to have the public facilities there. Those should be the first thing that are put into place, because even the people who are working there do need to go to the loo. So if they are the organizers, that's the first thing. It's about the planning which hits. We think about these public services at the end, whereas they should be thought of at the front end when we are actually starting these activities.
Okay, a good point being raised there. Many thanks, Akshay, for giving us your view. Mr. Rahul Nayak is now on the phone line from Bhopal. Mr. Nayak, what do you have to say, about this ADM? You think if he were to apologize, it would be fine, or some action should be taken against him?
I really think that some action should be taken against him, because he should be ashamed of himself for doing such a disgusting and an embarrassing act. Some action should be taken against him, and because he's not just hurting you and me, but all millions of people who are religious and worship that sacred place.
Okay, so it's not just about the offences that we see daily on the streets. This is an even more serious one, is what Rahul Naik from Bhopal had to say. Many thanks. And we'll take in a last caller. In fact, Sumesh is calling in from Amargarh in Punjab. Please go ahead, tell us what you have to say on this.
Yeah, namaste. Actually, about this officer, first of all, he should be removed from all his responsibility. An apology won't do. That is too less. Well, we all know that in all the rivers, many animals live there and they also urinate. Well, he has to think that is he an animal? Already a punishment has been given to him when his photos are already gone viral on the social media, but this is shameful. You know, the message should be conveyed to the common person that, okay, if you go on doing these ugly things, then you will surely be punished. The law is same for every person in India.
Okay, we appreciate you joining us, Mr. Somesh from Punjab. So clearly, while this video has gone viral and the ADM is being criticized severely, keeping in mind that he is a government official and also the place where he's urinating, you know, this is just considered holy for millions of devotees. But it does lead us to the larger question that, you know, as far as the other citizens and civilians are concerned in India, it is about that larger civic mindset also. Do you have those civic etiquettes to ensure that you don't go out in public spaces, litter them and urinate them? That's a basic responsibility of every individual citizen. We leave it there on this broadcast. It's a short break here on India Today, but coming up next for you, all the action.
The Pampore operations, 2 terrorists have now been killed in this ongoing encounter. I want to quickly bring in India Today's Shujaul Haq for more on this.